Welcome back to the Ski Rex Media Podcast, Season 2. We made it to Season 2, and today we're starting with a little preseason. We're going to be talking about checking your gear on the Ski Rex Media Podcast. How we doing, everybody? Long time no see, unless you are a fan of the live stream and virtual opera party, but it has been a few weeks. I think it's been 3 or 4 weeks since I've done a recorded episode of this podcast, and we're coming back since it is preseason, since, autumn is right around the corner. It's a month away, almost literally. I think the first day of autumn is September 21st, 22nd? Maybe 27th. It's one of the 20s. So it's about a month away. So if we're going to go into autumn, summer's ending, we're going into autumn, let's start talking about preseason. Now, I know I've been talking about getting excited for the season. I did that right before I ended season 1 of the podcast. We've been talking about it on the live stream and virtual opera party. Check that out. Saturday nights at 8 on the YouTube channel. For those of you who are already audio only listeners to the podcast, that is on the YouTube channel, a live stream. But we might figure out how to do an audio stream version as well. So we'll see about that. But we've been talking about being excited for it. We've been talking about what to expect with, COVID-19 and all that good stuff. And I wanted to start with gear, because if you don't have gear, then what's the point of planning for the rest? What's the point of planning the ski trip? What's the point of buying tickets? I mean, there is rentals, and we'll get into that too here in a minute, but we're going to talk about gear. We're going to talk about getting it ready now. This is not a tutorial by any means. I am not a professional technician, a ski or snowboard technician. I am definitely not pro. While I can handle my own gear, I'm not going to tell you how to handle yours because I don't want you to break it. You might be doing something specific. You might actually be a technician, and you could tell me I'm wrong, and that would actually be good. Education is a good thing, but when it comes down to it, I don't know enough to tell you how to do it. But I do know what to look for because I look for this stuff too. Now, what we're going to talk about today, and this is going to be a series, like I said, we're talking about this today. We're going to talk about something different next week, and then the following week we're going to talk about something different, just to get ready for the season, just to get ready for the coming season, because there's going to be one. For anyone who thought, man, this season might be in jeopardy, I don't know, dude. Mountains are talking about getting ready. Mountains are talking about being open, what they can open, when they want to open. Purgatory, Snow Bowl, someone else, I think maybe Loveland out there in Colorado, they all have open. Well, they don't have opening dates necessarily, but they do know they're going for November, just like they always would. So we're going to talk about what we need to do to get ready for that. And I have my handy dandy notebook in my hand because I made notes this time. This season, we're going to try and do better. People like the podcast. Maybe we can do better. And if you are watching, you can see that the wall is now a blank slate until I can get everything built up there. Not built, but put up. Make it look nice and neat and maybe pro. And I had an awesome piece to do that with, but it doesn't fit the way I thought it was. But you'll see that in other projects. Now, what we're going to talk about. This is what we're talking about here. Now, when we talk about gear, there's a couple things we want to talk about. Number one, we want to check the condition of what we have, what needs to be replaced, and what we want to replace or what we want to get new. Now, don't forget there is a difference between want and need, and you have to understand that difference between want and need. If you don't, you might spend more money than you have to. But then again, if you have disposable income, you can buy whatever you want. But definitely some people, including myself, have a budget, and some people have a stricter budget than some, and then some people have a budget and just say, screw it, and just blow the budget anyway. So you got to know the difference between want and need. And we'll get into that a little bit. Again, this is an overview. This is just to get you started. This is what I would do. This is what I have done to get started. Look at that in the fall as summer turns to autumn. Look at what I need and what needs to be fixed or maintained or replaced or what have you. And we're going to start with that right there. Inventory. Take inventory of your gear. If you've worked for retail for more than 5 minutes, you know a little something about inventory. How much and what. You have to do that with your gear. Are you a multi-ski pair of ski? Do you own multiple pair of skis? Do you own multiple snowboards? Do you have a reason to own those? And by that, I mean, do you have your groomer sticks? Do you have your powder sticks? Do you have your touring sticks and boards included in that? Do you have all that? You got to look at that. Do you have a pair of ski boards like me that you like to ride and take out? You have to look at all of that stuff. You have to know. But it doesn't just stop at skis and snowboards, my friends. You have to look deeper. Now, some people coming looking in from the outside of snow sports enthusiasts might be like, well, you're talking about skiing, you're talking about snowboarding. Shouldn't that be what you're looking at for your inventory, your skis that you have, your snowboards that you have, your poles, the bindings that you have on those skis or snowboards, depending on what you might be doing if you're touring uphill, freeheel, or what have you. No, that's not the only thing you look at, because we need our coats, we need our jackets, we need our gloves, hats, face masks pre-COVID for just the warmth. Now you need your COVID mask because everybody's going to be requiring you to wear a mask. It's just a fact. It's just a fact of life that you're going to have to deal with. There's going to be masks required in public areas and on the lift, maybe not on the mountain. That I don't know, but they don't even know that. You're going to have to look. Do I have pants? Do I have socks? Do I have boots? Ski boots and walking boots and that pair of nice comfy lodge and driving sneakers that feel so good when you put them on a day after a day out on the hill. Are you kidding me? You know what I'm talking about. And you do need those because you don't want to drive in ski boots or snowboard boots for that matter. That sucks. Out loud, bottom line, point blank. You need to take inventory of everything. Now, that even goes. Like, not everybody, like for some people, you put your stuff away. If you are a more casual snow sports enthusiast, snow sports fan, you put your stuff away, maybe in a closet. Everybody would do that. Maybe in the shed, maybe down in the basement. And it's just forgotten about until you go down there. For others who are hardcore, that stuff is hanging on the wall. They know where every single piece is, or at least they think they do, because you don't always. You ever just put something down, walk away, turn around, come back, and it's gone because you didn't put it there? You distinctly remember putting it down where it is or where you thought it was, and it isn't there. That happens. And then especially if months have gone by, depending on the type of skier you are. If you're a season never ends person, then this stuff is going on constantly, and that's a whole different topic. But then you are doing this stuff constantly. It's now a weekly thing that you're checking. Do I have this? Do I have that? Do I have the next thing? Where did I leave it? Did I leave it up at this hill? Did I lose it on an airplane somewhere, or a bus or a train? All that stuff. But it is possible to lose it. That's why inventory, basic retail style inventory, going through, counting stuff, making sure you have everything. You have to make sure you have it all. I guess not all. I guess if you want to be prepared for the second snowflakes start flying around, you want to have it all. But you can change stuff throughout the season, obviously. I mean, don't get look. I've been excited about things. We know it. I've been talking about being excited for the season, especially since this is my grand return to the stage like I was talking about last season. This season, that shit's going to happen, bottom line. Now, you're excited, so you might want to get everything ready. How you get stuff ready, how casual you are is up to you. But I do suggest, as I suggest with everything, because as I've always said, Ski Rex Media's lessons are life lessons. Stuff you can take out of snow sports and take into your everyday life. Everyday life. Believe me, I know how to make the world better. All right, that might be going a little too far. In any case, do your inventory and be ready, because then you don't have to be scrambling. Like, say you get to a mountain and, you didn't go through your backpack. You threw your gloves, goggles, hats, face masks, backup socks, hand warmers if you use them, foot warmers if you use them, duct tape, what have you, in your bag. And you get to the mountain, you go in your bag and your gloves are gone. That sucks. Not the biggest deal. Every mountain has shops. You go down, you buy a new pair of gloves, you move on. Unless you keep backups in the car, something like that, which is good too. Always be prepared, prepping. That's fine. Believe me, I totally get that. But wouldn't it be better? And again, forgetfulness is forgetfulness. It happens, but wouldn't it be better just to be ready to go? Just to know that shit, I need gloves, and you have them ready. Now's the time. End of summer into fall before Halloween, because Lord knows you're going to be getting into some Halloween shenanigans, and then you're going to be getting excited for the first of the holidays, Thanksgiving, if you're an American, obviously. Fill in your holiday in November or December from whatever country you may be from, nationality, culture, what have you. You're getting excited, and you're just going to blow things, and then you're going to run out of time. So many holidays at the end of the year, and we all get crazy. Everybody gets crazy. That's which is also dependent on the industry you work in. If you work in the snow sports industry, ski industry, so on, you're going to get nuts. And, you're not going to be thinking about this stuff. Get it done. Summer into fall. Know what you need. Know what you want. After you do your inventory, and you find that you do have to replace some things. And again, the difference between need and want, I did bring that up in the introduction, and you got to know the difference, because there's a lot that I want, but there's only a few things that I need, and I personally try to live within need. What do I need? And want can come later. It can come way later. I for instance, well, here's the thing. I don't own too many pairs of skis. I own 2 pairs of skis right now, just 2. Why? Because they are, tailored to where I live and ski, and always have been, East Coast skier, inbound skier. I can go in the trees. If I would have learned how to do park or been better at park riding and tricking and all that other stuff, my skis would work, my ski boards would work. It's fine. I also try to live a minimalist lifestyle. I keep chipping my stuff down. I want to be able to move into a tiny house, whether I do or don't. That's for the future to decide, but I want that to be an option, is what I'm saying. So I don't keep a lot on hand. But if you ski multiple different places where you need powder skis, or if you're also a cross country person, or if you're a free heeler person on the mountain, or if you're anything, whatever it may be, snowboarders too. You have your all mountain board, you have your park board, you have your split board if you're into uphilling. So on and so forth. If you're a racer, you have a board geared to that. If you need plenty of different skis that you will use, obviously now's the time to make sure you have them. Number one, take your inventory, like I said. I would like to have, I want a couple more pairs of skis, but I know I don't need them. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't have more than one if you don't need them. If you can afford it and you want to, and you have the space in your house and you're cool with that, go for balls, man. Absolutely, man. Stock up, man. And that doesn't include art pieces. Lord knows, you have friends, like I have friends who have their old snowboards that they've stickered up or drawn on or painted on or whatever, and they go up on the wall. Skateboarders do this, skiers do this, So, the people who do these type of sports with this type of equipment, that stuff becomes display. That goes up there. Skaters, inline skaters, well, there might be someone who does it, but, people who could put something up there that looks like a piece of art, they do that. Those don't count because that's art. That's like your posters and your pictures of your grandma and your cat and all this other stuff. But that's the difference between want and need. And want and need is really only based on budget. And we've talked about how expensive skiing can be, on and off, and how it doesn't have to be. And again, that difference between want and need is one of those things that'll bring costs down. Because if you may not need a name. I was a fan, of spider gear for a long time. I have a expensive spider jacket and expensive spider vest, and probably the only couple of things I've ever really paid retail for are those 2 pieces. Everything else has either been on sale, on clearance, demo, no name brand. My goggles right now are a no name brand that I got. They're some kind of knockoff brand, but they'll do the job. They'll get the job done. I mean, let's be honest, kids. Back in the day when I was living in New Jersey, and even before that, when I was visiting my friend, I had a friend I went to high school. He was from New Jersey, where I ended up living. We used to go, it's because of him I ended up living down there. We moved down there. We used to go to a flea market down there, bro. I was buying Folkleys like once a month. Because I like sunglasses. At that time, I liked the wraparounds, the way they fit. And I didn't need the Oakley name. Are you kidding me? These shits were fake as hell, and it's not like I hid the fact. which is pretty awesome if you think about it. I think it's pretty awesome. Not a lot of people think that's pretty weak and lame. I don't care. They were absolute knockoffs. These aren't a brand knockoffs. I'm pointing over here because my goggles are right over here on the desk. They're not a brand knockoff. They're just a no-name brand. They're not, Smith, Scott, anything like this. Right? So want and need. If you want something, get what you want when you can. Get what you need now. Want actually, you know what? The best part I can do with this need or want thing is write down a list of what you want and then get that in the season. Know what you need to get out on day one. What you need to throw in the car on day one because you're going to need, maintained working skis, and you're going to need boots, and you're going to need jacket, pants, again, depending on temperature. Who knows how cold it's actually going to be. Maybe you won't need all that layers, but better to have and not need than need and not have, which kind of goes against the want and need thing, but I think you know what I mean. You don't want to be caught unprepared. Better to have and not need than need not have. Things like guns and condoms. You know what I'm saying? So, you get through your inventory. You figured out what you want. You figured out what you need. Now take what you have. Want and need, make those lists, go out, get what you need. But now let's deal with what you have because you've gone through your inventory. This is what I have. This is what I need. And this is what I want. And part of that need may be maintenance. Now, for those who are very particular, those who are very, they're on point. These are the people that the odometer in their car hits that 3,000, 7,500, 8,000, whatever your car's oil change may be. Those you know who I'm talking to. I'm talking to you because you do this. That does, you don't even go a tenth over, and that oil change is done. Transmission fluid change done. Radiator flushed. The same goes with skis. There are people who will make sure before they put their babies to bed for the summer, if they're off in the summer, which a lot of us are here in the Northern Hemisphere, they make sure the bindings are tuned and dealt with. Their edges are sharp. The wax goes on. They're put in a case and they're put lovingly or hung lovingly on a wall or just in a special closet or in their foyer or whatever it may be. Then again, some people just chuck them in the back of their van and head to the beach, which is fine too. But that's who I'm talking to because you might need something done, and it's always better to get it done ahead of time. Why? Number one, obvious. You're prepped. You're ready to go. Get your waxing done, your sharpening done, your bindings tuned, your boots fixed. If you need a new latch or something, get it all done. You're ready to go. Plus, and this goes back to the price, preseason pricing, man, you might get a deal at your local shop. You might absolutely get a local deal at your local shop. Preseason edge and wax, $29.95 or whatever it might be. And again, that's to those who don't take care of their own stuff, who don't maintain their own stuff. Like if you do your own sharpening, waxing, and whatnot, then you're again, this is nothing because you're going to do it anyway because you're already doing it. This is for those who who have just put it in a closet and then. You got to dig it out and you got to be ready. That's what this episode is. The return of the Ski Rex Media Podcast. Season 2, Episode 1 is getting you hyped. And part of the excitement is getting your gear out and getting that shit ready to go. And getting it done ahead of time. Don't be lackadaisical. Don't procrastinate. Get it done. Especially in a season where you might have to be sitting on your computer like kids in the 70s and 80s sat out in front of their favorite venue to get concert tickets. You may have to be sitting there for a couple days overnight watching that screen on your computer to make sure you get your reservation with the COVID-19. You don't need to deal with maintenance while you're doing that. So get it done now. And again, preseason pricing is awesome. Preseason pricing is awesome. Now, just so it's said, I realize that rental gear people, you don't have to deal with this. There are those who are hardcore, try hard, some of the jerk offs that are in our sports, snow sports, who will say rental gear is garbage. Rental gear is basic is what it is. But the advantage of that is A, you don't have to store it. B, you don't have to travel with it. C, you don't have to maintain it. And that's even if you get seasonal rentals. A lot of places, if you go in the early December, rent your gear, you don't have to take it back till April. They'll still do the tuning throughout the season, whatever you need, edge, wax, sharpening, edge and sharpening, same thing. But you know what I mean. Rental people have a big advantage here, man, because they're already ready. They just have to go through, make sure they have their coats, gloves, pants, face mask, goggles, hat, and the damn keys to their car. That's all. See, the rental guy. See, that's why I say, man, that's also a difference between want and need. I tell people, if you don't need gear all the time, like for me, I was skiing so often. And back when I worked at the ski mountain, I was skiing almost every day, before my shift. And it's like having my own gear, that made sense. But if I'm only going 3 times a week, 3 times a season, fuck it, man. Why carry my own shit? Why keep it in the house? Rent that. It's fine, dude. Totally fine to be renters. But that is the only advantage they have. The rest of us, we're ready to go. We just now have to make time to either properly maintain it ourselves, and get that done and then be ready. Now, as I said, this is not a tutorial. I'm not going to teach you how to wax, sharpen, tune, maintain at all. I'm not going to show you how to do that for a lot of reasons. So if you don't know, don't work your gear yourself. Like if you hear this, like, yeah, you know what? I am excited. I want to get it done. I'm going to take a swing by myself. Now, again, there's tons of tutorials across like YouTube and the internet as a whole. You can find stuff that teach you how to wax and sharpen and all this and that. It'll teach you what you need, when you need it, why you need it. But if you don't know, don't do it. At least look at that stuff first. And if you're not sure, get a friend who does know. You're going to have a friend out there. And if, when in doubt, just call the shop and say, I'm bringing my stuff in. They'll look at it and be like, dude, you really didn't need much. We did the edge, we did the wax, but everything else was top notch. And it's better to have someone who knows what they're talking about take care of it than blow it on the mountain. And believe me, I know about blowing it on the mountain. Want to talk about prepared? One day I let my wax go way too long one year, just way too long. And we were at Mount Snow, and I come cruising down the hill, not very fast, which was kind of weird, because in this one spot we were specifically going fast because there's a nice flat, and I stopped dead before I was even halfway across the flat. I didn't keep my gear together. The one story I told, the karma story from Camelback, told that last season on the podcast. I didn't keep my edges, sharpened the way they were supposed to be. And I went down because of it, and I got hurt pretty bad. 1 month physical therapy, busted back. So make sure your gear is ready to go. And that is another thing. And this, again, isn't just snow sports. It's everything. If your gear is top notch, if it's in shape, if it's maintained properly, it's safer. So get all that stuff done now. Now, went over all that, but that's stuff we really all know. What I just said there, the more into snow sports you are, you already know all that shit. You're like, Tim, you just spent 20 minutes telling me stuff I already know, I've already thought about. What about the stuff you haven't thought about? What about something along the lines of skier rider EDC? EDC, not the Electric Daisy Carnival out there in Las Vegas each year for you EDM fans, you electronic music fans, dance music fans. No, everyday carry. Have you ever thought about this? You haven't, because you do it and you don't even realize it. Now, when you say EDC, a lot of people think about the preppers and that prepper lifestyle, and that has like this odd stigma. Like it's got like this odd negative stigma to it. But being prepared is good anyway, but EDC just means everyday carry. What do you carry every day? We all do it. What do you grab before you go out the door? Your car keys, your wallet, and your cell phone. And if you carry that stuff in a backpack, bag, or purse, whatever it may be. Me personally, when I go out, I grab my keys, my phone, my wallet, a micro flashlight that I keep in my pocket, and a folding knife, a pocket knife that I keep in my pocket. That's my EDC, and my hat, of course. That's my EDC. What is your skier EDC? What is in your bag ready to go? It's something to think about because, well, some of you don't think about it, and because you just do it. Nobody thinks about EDC as a term. Like I just said, it's just I'm grabbing my wallet and my keys and I'm good. Ski EDC. This is what's in my backpack when I leave. It is my goggles, because they live in my backpack when they're out now because of the virtual opera party every Saturday on the Ski Rex Media YouTube channel. Not every Saturday. We're skipping this week's, but there's a whole other thing there. But they live in my bag. Hats, more than one. My gloves, more than one pair. a good pair, and then a not so good pair just to get down the mountain if something happens to the good pair. Some paracord. I've thrown paracord on my bag. I used to wear it on the bag. Now it's in the bag. For me, there's also a small, just a hand tool, fit in the palm of my hand, has a couple screwdriver bits, just in case I need to do something on the hill. A lot of you carry them, a lot of you don't. There's a lot of different ways to get that stuff out there. Mine happens to be a little Burton mini multi-tool. That's all it is. Little thing. Fits right in the pocket of one of my pockets of my backpack. What else? That's really all it's in my bag. But and then again, I have what's in my pocket. I throw my pocket knife in and the flashlight in the bag. And I try to leave my wallet in the car. Like I bring when I go up on the hill. I try not to bring the whole wallet because there's no need for that. I bring a card, my driver's license, one card, credit card, debit card, whichever I happen to grab, my driver's license, and maybe $20 in cash, just in case, because you never know when the power is going to go down or something else, or a credit card machine's going to go down and they can't use it, that kind of thing. But think about that, and think about it if you're really interested in it. Again, I said go to YouTube and learn some things about this stuff. Go ahead and look up EDC. Like a lot of these prepper guys, some of it do take it way too seriously, and I'll give you that. But a couple of these people have some decent ideas for EDC, what to add, because some they're adding stuff like, pick your brand: acetaminophen, ibuprofen. There's brand names for both of those. Tylenol, Advil, so on and so forth. That kind of thing. Do you need, I carry a pocket knife anyway. I just do. But if you don't need it. But you might want to throw something else in there, like the flashlight. Do a lot of night skiing, you might want to have that. But then your headlamp might be in their bag anyway. You know what I'm saying? And again, it depends on how good the lighting system at your home mountain is, or your night skiing mountain. EDC, think about that one. That's something good. See, right now, that's a little... I'm going to go through a couple of just little helpful additions, and EDC is one of them. Think about what you carry, throw it in your bag, it's ready to go. Make your ski bag half a bug out bag. Shit, leave your bag in the car if you can. Then you're doubling down and ready to go and prepared. Now, as part of EDC, some people use in their EDC kits for their everyday life, they throw a couple of first aid things in there. Now, that's something I've never carried. It's something I'm going to start carrying, I think, is a decent first aid kit, not just a small thing in my EDC kit or something like a throwback. It's like Band-Aids, a few tablets of ibuprofen, whatever. Like a solid, first aid kit, just in case. Because yes, if you're staying inbounds, and again, this is something you have to tailor to your needs. Because if you're just a resort rider, ski patrol's right there. You can get an ambulance. Maybe you don't need the most advanced kit in the world. But if you are a touring skier or snowboarder, backcountry, mountaineering, you're going out there, and obviously the people who are doing it, your gear, you're prepping. I mean, all this stuff, all these guidelines, overview, whatever I've been talking about, that all applies. But you're doing it with more gear. You're now talking airbags and breathers and a good first aid kit, like practically a pocket surgical kit. That you have to take out there just in case. Things do deter live wildlife, not just bug spray, which obviously you don't really need in the winter, but leave that in your bag if you use it for your bag. Leave it in your bag if you use your bag during the summer too. But, you go out into the wilderness, you could run into a damn grizzly bear. You might need, bear bells or bear spray or something along, that lines. And then if you're a mountaineering backcountry multiple day tours, you need your tent and your food and all that stuff. It's all the same guidelines. It's just digging deeper and going to take you a lot longer when you do that inventory. And make sure you do that inventory, because once you get to that level, you don't want to forget anything. Because once you're out there and you are now stuck with what you have. And believe me, it is possible to survive without some of that stuff, but it's just much easier to have it all. Better to have and not need than need and not have. Now, as part of the first aid kit, again, I'm just going to get a basic one with some bandages, probably throw another pocket knife in there, a couple other things. I don't need one with sutures and, small surgical kits, tourniquet. A tourniquet, like inbounds in a pinch, you pull your belt and just, yank it on somebody and that'll work. You don't need a pro tourniquet, especially if there's professionals who can come help you. But for me personally, and this is something I'm going to push this year because it's a thing with me and I get made fun of it for it so much made fun of for this. Sunblock. I use it constantly through the summer, and I do have it on the mountain. I have a small little carabiner, little bottle of sunblock that I keep clipped right to my bag and I can throw it on my face. Because obviously in the middle of winter, I'm all jacketed up and everything, so you really don't need it. But for anything on your face, if it's really cold, then you're goggled up, hat up, mask, all of it. You might not need it, but I keep it anyway because one, I burn really easy. My skin sucks. My skin is shit. So I burn really easy. So I keep it anyway, and that's why I use it all summer. Plus, skin cancer is a thing. Okay, and you want to try to avoid that as much as possible. I tell everybody, use your sunblock. Maybe I go a little overboard. I feel they go underboard, but whatever it means. Throw your sunblock in your bag. Make it part of your ski EDC, man. Get ready. Get that in there. And like I said before, the last thing I would think of is just a little helpful addition other than your other inventory of all your gear again. Jackets, pants, skis, poles, boots, hats. Get your comfy driving shoes, man. Get your comfy driving shoes out because driving in ski boots sucks. It just sucks. You shouldn't do it anyway. It's not safe and it's not easy and it just sucks. Snowboard boots the same. It's a little better, but it's still a bigger boot that has no give and it sucks. So get your shoes together, all right? How's that sound? How's that sound for a first episode for season 2? Just getting excited and getting done. And again, I just talked for almost a half hour about this, but it's this simple. Do your inventory, find out what you have, figure out what you need. If you have money and time left over, know what you want so you can get it. Think about what you're putting in your bag. Again, ski or EDC, how does all that need, want, have fit into that? Get everything maintained, fixed, repaired if it needs it. Get it all done and dealt with. And get ready, and we'll be ready for this next season. How does that sound? And that's what these next few episodes, like I said, are about preparing, getting ready. And when you prepare and get ready for something, you get excited about it. Think it's ski trip, snowboard trip, camping trip, fucking trip to the amusement park when you're getting all your snacks and shit together and you're carrying into the park and you're just excited because it's all part of the journey. It's all part of the experience. So get your stuff out. Get into the closet right now. Go today when you're done at work. If you listen to this in a car, if you're at home and you haven't done it yet, go into your closet, pull out your gear, inventory it. And again, that's also jackets. And sorry, I just got startled, man. It's a thunderstorm outside. I didn't expect that. Check your jackets, dude. Again, need and want. I should have brought this up earlier, but the same, like I said, jeans and pants. I mean, not jeans, jacket and pants, coats and pants. You may love that coat with all the duct tape on it, but it might be time. You might have a need to replace it. Again, inventory, check the condition, replace, repair, whatever you need to, and then get whatever you want on top of that. All right, how does that sound? Thank you for joining me on the first episode of the new season. I do appreciate it if you did. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Please share and subscribe. That always helps, and I do appreciate it. If you subscribe to the YouTube channel or the Buzzsprout, or if you're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever it is, hit the subscribe, follow button, whatever it might be, so you always know when it's coming out. Go into the description, follow Ski Rex Media at the website, skirexmedia.com. You can subscribe there, and go to Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and Discord. We have a Discord server this season. I haven't really figured that out, but I'm going to figure that out. Follow Ski Rex Media everywhere. You'll always know when the podcasts come out. Any other content that comes out, written, filmed, audio recorded, whatever it may be, you'll always know. Please share it with your friends. We're going to be pushing that big this year. Please tell a friend. If you enjoyed it, say, hey, check this out. Share it on social media. Put it in your Instagram story. Whatever it may be, tag me, and I'll come and I'll help you shameless plug the heck out of it, all right? Also, to drive followers. We're going to bait some followers in. Oh, yeah, that's what we're doing because there is the merch shop. If you go into the description, no matter where you are, don't do it if you're listening to the car and you're driving. Don't do it now. Wait till you stop. You go into the description, you see the merch shop. You go in the merch shop, you see the different designs. They come on everything, sweatshirts, T-shirts, coffee mugs, phone cases. As part of this, to get everyone prepared for the next season, because what's something you might need? A hoodie, because you might not need a jacket, but a nice hoodie would work. And in about maybe a week or so, because right now at the merch shop, there's free shipping going on when you spend the right amount of money and use the code. The code is at the top of the website. Go check it out. Don't remember it offhand, but I'm pretty sure it is free ship 80. I'm going to be giving away 3 hoodies. with one of the Ski Rex media designs on it. And that'll be up to you which one it is. How cool is that? So keep an eye out for that and tell your friends, like, holy shit, this kid is giving away hoodies. It's going to be awesome. And it could be. So keep an eye out for the giveaway. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share and follow. Please hit the like button if you're watching the YouTube version. And I will see you next week, or you will see or hear me next week for episode 2 of season 2. And we're getting back into this, and we're getting into the season, and it's going to be great. And I will see you out in that mountain somewhere here in Vermont, because we're going to be talking about during the preparation series, traveling. That's what we're going to be talking about, but that's for a later week. All right. See you out there. No live stream this week, but that'll be back as well until the season starts. All right. But anyway, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you on the next one. Remember, share, subscribe, link to your friends, send it, everything. All right. Have a nice day, everyone. I will see you on the next one. Later.